Among many other reasons that make you choose narcissists as partners and keep you stuck in such relationships, reverse projection is one of the main and important factors. But what is reverse projection and how does it play a role in you ending up in such relationships? Let's understand that in today's episode. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel by pressing that subscribe button and push that bell icon to stay updated with every latest episode. Hi, I am Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional, and in this episode I'll be talking about what is reverse projection, how do you unintentionally or unconsciously do it, and how it plays a role in you choosing wrong partners and how it keeps you stuck in such toxic relationships. So let's begin with understanding what is reverse projection. And for us to understand what reverse projection is, we need to understand what projection is. From your experience and knowledge of narcissistic abuse, you may be aware at this point, about what projection is and how a narcissist does that. If you're not, let me explain it. Projection is simply when a narcissist projects his or her negative traits on to your personality. They, instead of seeing and taking responsibility for their negative and toxic behaviors, they project it onto you and see them, those traits, those behaviors as your faults. So they deflect everything that is wrong with them and make it wrong about you. Which is why it may have been your experience, if you are a survivor of narcissistic abuse, that you were blamed for everything. And no matter what you did in such a relationship, nothing was ever enough. And that broke you little by little, piece by piece, because you as a human, you have limit to take so much criticism. Now, reverse projection happens when you as a survivor project the positive qualities of yours on to the survivor. When you assume that they see the world exactly the same way as you see. What I mean by that specifically is, if you feel or if you believe that you are kind and compassionate, empathetic, and all of those good qualities such as caring, loving, and you believe in being there for others and taking care of others' needs, there is a primary unconscious or subconscious assumption that other people are like that. This is what you assume and this is what you expect from the other person. And it becomes a problem when the narcissist mirrors you in the beginning stage of the narcissistic relationship. Because love bombing is all about first grabbing your attention, holding it, and then inducing a deep attachment between you and the narcissist. And one of the ways they do it is by mirroring your emotions, doing exactly what you are doing for them and creating that likelihood. You feel that they are you, they are your image. You feel like you're falling in love with yourself. And all of it is done with the intention of creating familiarity and making you feel that you can trust me or the narcissist. But when that ends, that love bombing stage ends, the devaluation begins, and you know what happens. Coming back to our first point, this reverse projection, when you do it unconsciously, when you believe that the other person has the same positive qualities as yours, you mistakenly end up feeling that you have found the right person and they are the right fit. And this is how reverse projection with a narcissist ends up being a disaster, and it makes you pick wrong people because you feel they are similar to yours. In reality, it is not necessary that the way you see the world, the way you feel about the world and the people and partners, it's not necessary that others would feel the same way. It is your pure perception and it's very unique to you only. It is said that the map is not the territory, which means that what you see, what your perception is not exactly going to be the someone else's perception. So reverse projection is also one of the blocks, one of the ways that you end up doing unconsciously or unintentionally out of good intentions, but the narcissist misuses it, and that is what ends up creating false rapport in the relationship. Also, as the narcissist does it, as there is this intermittent reinforcement. They show you those good parts, they mirror your emotions in the beginning when you feel like the mask is slipping off their face, but you become alert and they feel like they are going to lose control. They show you that good part of theirs. Again, that reverse projection happens. You feel, no, maybe they're as kind as I felt they were before, or they have exactly what I believe they have. So this is also how it keeps you stuck in such relationships. The solution is to stop the false perceptions, distorted perceptions, from happening. You have to be realistic. You have to understand that the way you are, it necessarily does not mean that the other person you are interacting with or dealing with would be the same person. Maybe it would be a rare case that you would end up with someone who would truly be similar to who you are internally, but with narcissists it's always a loss and a very dysfunctional thing to do. I hope in today's episode I was able to help you understand what reverse projection is and how it keeps you stuck in such a relationship. I'll talk with you very soon in next one. Till then, let the healing begin.